See how quickly I moved my broken toe? Wow.
Aloha, welcome to MTB University. For today's lesson, we're going to do something new. We're going to actually be starting a new series of videos specifically for people who are brand new to the sport and are just learning about it as they decide whether or not they even want to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the different genres or styles of mountain biking. There's a lot of different styles. There's downhill, cross country, all mountain riding, free ride, dirt jumping. So today we're going to focus on downhill mountain biking. In this video, the footage that you're going to be watching is actually of a buddy of mine named Rich, who's an old downhiller. Well, he probably wouldn't appreciate me calling him old, but he's been downhilling for a long time. Now, the trail he's riding is the Kealia Trail on the north shore of Oahu, and this is hands down the most challenging and difficult downhill on the island. There's only two ways to get to it. You can either hike up the trail with your bike and then come down, or you can ride 14 miles around to get to the top of it. The trail is technical and gnarly. Rocks, drops, sharp corners, switchbacks. It's got 40-foot cliffs you can fall off of. It's pretty gnarly. Most people don't even really consider a mountain bike trail, but we do. We love it. So enjoy the footage and enjoy the rest of the video. So let's talk about bike. Now, a downhill bike is considerably different from just a regular trail bike. A downhill bike is much beefier. You don't have to pedal it up the hills. If you're downhilling, you're most likely getting shuttled up on a ski lift, or you're getting driven up in a truck. You don't need to pedal your bike uphill. So it's usually quite a bit heavier and burlier, but that also helps it withstand the impact and the speed of downhill riding. Now, downhill bikes also have considerably more travel. They have about 8 inches of suspension, which on a bike is a lot. Now, regular trail bikes nowadays, they have anywhere between 4 to 6 inches of travel, and those are very capable bikes. So a downhill bike with 8 inches of travel, there's pretty much nothing you can't ride over on a bike like that. Now, in addition to that, the bike's geometry is such that your center on the bike is actually a little further back, which means the front is designed to just roll over things easier. So when you're riding a downhill bike, it's going to be heavier, it's going to have more suspension, and it's going to be designed to put you in a position to be able to roll over objects much, much easier. Let's talk about safety gear. The gear that you wear when you downhill is quite a bit different than when you're just regularly out riding on the trails. First, helmet is always mandatory. It doesn't matter what kind of mountain bike you're doing. But a downhill mountain bike helmet is like a motocross helmet, all right? Just lighter, but it's a big full face helmet to protect you from running head first or teeth first into trees at 40 miles an hour. Okay, so in that situation, the bigger your helmet, the better. Okay, so full face helmet. Now, people also wear spine protection. People wear neck braces to prevent, serious injuries to their backs and their necks. They also have knee pads that cover just the knee or both the knee and the shin. Elbow pads. Even the gloves you wear on your hands are beefier and have more protection. And that's all because you're usually riding more technical terrain at higher speeds. Now, whether you wear all that or only some of that is a personal choice, except for the helmet. Helmet is always mandatory. So let's talk about the type of trails that you will ride if you decide to be a downhiller. Now, a lot of this depends on your location. Let's say you live in some place that's relatively flat. You're probably not going to be doing a lot of downhill mountain biking. You're not even going to have to worry about having a downhill bike. But if you live next to a ski area that in the summertime turns the resort into a downhill mountain bike area, then a downhill bike is something you may very well consider, because you can just get shuttled to the top and then ride down all day long. If you live in a place where there's a bunch of great trails that you can shuttle to the top of, then that's another good place where, you know, you might consider having the downhill bike. So it really just kind of depends on your location. Where I live here on Oahu, there's really only one place where you can shuttle and downhill. So all the guys and ladies that live over there have downhill bikes, and they ride that place all the time. Now in my case, I live on the North Shore. You can't shuttle anything on the North Shore, you gotta pedal. So I don't even have a downhill bike, because for me, it's just not useful. Now to sum things up, the bike is going to be heavier, it's going to be beefier and burlier, and it's going to have 8 inches of travel on it. You need to remember that that bike is designed to get you downhill as fast as possible, not to get you uphill as fast as possible. If you live in an area next to a bike park or someplace where you can shuttle, downhill bike is going to be perfect. If you're going to have to pedal to the top, you're probably going to wish you hadn't bought a downhill bike. Gear. You're likely going to be wearing more gear if you downhill mountain bike. The consequences of crashing are usually higher. Now that was the end of today's video on downhill mountain biking. Now for our next video, what we're going to focus on is all mountain riding. All mountain riding is kind of rugged trail riding. So the bikes that you have, the gear that you use, the trails that you ride are all different. So that's what we'll talk about in our next video. So please look forward to that one. Also, thank you for watching this. When you watch these videos, we really hope that you learn something from them. Please like and subscribe. That helps us know that you're getting something from these videos and encourages us to keep on doing it. Also, please write your comments. I'd love to hear from you, what you have to say. Not just what you think about the videos, but your experiences on your new downhill bike or whatever it is. So many mahalos.